Welcome back to DBL. Lori Arnold ran one of the biggest meth empires in the 90s. After being caught and serving time, she's finally sharing her story alongside her famous brother, Tom Arnold. The two kept their past a secret until now. Here's the remarkable story on DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
My name is Lori Arnold. I'm a material technician. The money I make a week, I used to make that in a few minutes.
Lori Arnold was one of America's most infamous and unexpected drug lords.
So easy to bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was too easy.
She turned addiction into an enterprise, which stemmed from a trauma-filled childhood. She and her brother Tom grew up in Ottumwa, Iowa, in an unstable family.
First time I took speed, I was 14, and it was with my mom.
Their mother got Lori hooked early and would offer her up to older men.
She served my sister up, her daughter, to a rapist and a serial pedophile. She said, here he is. And that's beyond bad judgment. That was a big deal. It really set the tone for me versus my mom. I mean, openly hostile from that point on.
Tom needed to escape that environment, so he moved to California to pursue writing and comedy. He went on to star in Roseanne, The Jackie Thomas Show, and more. Meanwhile, back home, Lori was running a sprawling multi-state meth empire.
Decided I was gonna do something. Even if it's wrong, I'm gonna do something to take care of myself.
She began using, dealing, and supplying to her hometown and beyond.
We decided to cook our own on our property, so we wouldn't have to drive to California, to get it. So I ended up hiring my own chemist to order a whole meth lab out of a catalog.
Her lab was producing between 10 to 20 pounds of meth a week.
We would order P2P, which came in 55-gallon drums from Albuquerque, and that makes the real methamphetamine. That is the Breaking Bad methamphetamine.
Each week, she raked in at least $200,000.
Lori always had a lot of friends. But I'll tell you, when she was selling drugs, she was extremely popular.
Their economically depressed hometown suddenly became a booming meth empire.
The first time I tried it, I'm like, well, it's pretty good, so I want my friends to share it with me. It wasn't like I want to go get everybody addicted and ruin their lives.
Her reign lasted about 6 years.
She became a big-time drug dealer and ended up in prison. Well, right.
In 1989, the queen of meth was caught after the FBI had been following her for years. She was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
Because there's just some that mothers don't do.
Well, yeah, what she did was wrong. She
ruined your life.
Well, she
ruined your life.
I forgave that.
Lori was released early in 1999, only to fall back into the drug game again. After being arrested and serving time again, she was released in 2008.
I'm standing here strong maybe because of what I went through. I don't know. I'll always be remembered as the queen of meth.
Wow. Earlier, Alan Torrey spoke with Lori's brother, actor Tom Arnold. Take a look.
We are here with Tom Arnold. Thank you, Tom, for coming on DBL. Now, Tom, most people know you as an actor and comedian, but what they don't know is that you and your sister Lori had a really difficult and very secret past. So if you can, Wayne's World us back in time to your childhood, you're in Iowa. What was that like, watching your mother expose your little sister to drugs and the complete opposite of sort of a normal childhood?
It wasn't good. I think that our mother left when I was 4 and my sister was 3. I knew our mother was not a mother. But when I was 15, I decided I wanted to grow my hair out. I wanted to drink. I wanted no adult supervision. So I moved in with her. And unfortunately, my sister followed. My sister, who worshiped her. And she was 14, and the first drug she ever did was with our mother. They were bar buddies. They went out one night. They met a guy that's 23. And my mother drove my sister, 14-year-old sister, and this serial pedophile to Missouri and made them get married. And I just knew her life is over. You just screwed up your daughter's life. And that's really what happened. The guy beat her. She eventually left him. I went to get her is what happened. And then she met another guy that was the captain of the Grim Reaper motorcycle gang, married him at 18. And they were already involved with drugs. And my sister's very smart. She was great at school before she left. And she said, well, let's make this a real business.
Oh, wow.
There's no way for it to go except prison or death.
Wow.
Let's move forward to the 90s where you blew. I mean, you blew up. You starred in big gigs like Roseanne, which was maybe the biggest show of the 90s or one of them, and the Jackie Thomas Show. Meanwhile, your sister began running this massive empire. So just where do you see the split that you guys went down these different paths?
Well, in 1988, I moved to Los Angeles to write the Roseanne Show. You know, I'm an addict, alcoholic. I'm in recovery, but I am that guy too. And I just knew after a year in Los Angeles, I can't keep doing this. I always had a dream, and I don't know if you call it God, but there was always some voice in my head that said, you could do better than this. Wow. There is something out there. If you get it together, there is something out there. So I just believed that. As crazy it is, I just thought, yeah, there is something outside of here. My dream is not here. It's outside of here, and I'm lucky that I got out.
What's your relationship with your sister like right now? I'm fascinated to know if you guys are getting along. How do you guys deal with each other?
You know, she is my little sister, and you know, there's a lot of pictures of us growing up, and we've always had that relationship. I always thought I was like a parent to her, which I'm sure got very annoying because we're a year and a half apart. It's good. You know, the first time she got arrested, I was so sad. I was out in Los Angeles. I got a call from one of the feds. He said, there's nothing you can do. This is what happened. I was just terribly, terribly sad. They wanted to send her to prison for life, and I helped her get a good lawyer. They got that cut down. But the second time, after she'd been in prison for 8.5 years and went back there and started doing it again, I was angry.
Yeah.
I was very angry. And I even warned her, they know you're dealing. If you stop today, they won't arrest you. And she's like, mind your own blank business.
Wow.
But I'm very proud of her now. She's living an honest life. She was honest in this documentary series. She got confronted by her son. She got confronted by other people. And I'm very proud of the life she's living now.
Wow, that's amazing. You can learn more about Lori's story. Watch the brand new documentary, Queen of Meth. It's streaming now on Discovery Plus. Thanks again.
Appreciate you, brother.
We really do. Thanks again. We'll be right back.